Hey everyone, today we are going to go and talk about Star Savior because they just dropped the brand new trailer or the PB on us. They shadow dropped it actually. I wasn't not expecting that. But yeah, they showed a lot of new things. And as someone who's been following this game for a while and watched some of the footage they have released over time on their channels and such, I definitely noticed a couple things overlapping as well as some new things that might give you understanding what types of game this is going to be. So first, let's roll the trailers, then we'll talk about it after.
団長団長これが最後の試験よ。旅の終わりまで私たちを導いて。救援の旅、それは星の救援者の軌跡に倣う試験。試験の果てにたどり着いた者は星の救援者が残した力を継承する。その試験に挑む救援者たちを育てるのは、そう、あなた団長。星の力を有する乙女たちと送る1年間の旅。道中で繰り広げられる彼女たちの冒険と成長、輝かしい思い出たち。やがてたどり着く旅の終点で待ち受けているのはいかなる未来だろうか。星が宿りし救援者の育成物語。Saber.
So that was the main PB for the Star Savior. They definitely gave away a lot of different materials to discuss and guess what this game is going to be. So let's go and talk about it. So first thing is they are calling us captain. That's our status, and we as a captain is going to be helping them to go through this trial to inherit the power of the Star Savior as they talk about in this PB. So journey is key point. They keep mentioning as well this journey with these characters. You as a captain is going to be the key part of the story. And this scene right here seems to be the scene where your characters finish all the trials and getting the power inherited by the Star Savior. So that's the simple and the main concept story. So your goal is to help these characters that looks pretty cute to go through that trials and help them get to that point. Moving on to next, they are showcasing some characters that's actually old character we've seen before as well as new character. First, these three are old character that even showed up in the original concept PB, so it's pretty nice to see them. You can check out their official illustrations on their official X account and such, so you can go ahead and do that for yourself. But yeah, they are actually returning character from the concept PB they released, so it's nice to see them. They're all making it through, hinting that the story elements or the setting of the character is still kept being same for the final release of the game, and they seems to be within the same clan, seeing their outfits and some of the star design they have within their clothes and some nice expression in the back. Moving on to next list of characters, we got the maid crew, and they are all represented from the concept PB as well, and they're getting spotlight once again in this brand new PB. This long black hair girl seems to be replacing one of the characters that appeared in the concept PB. Her name is Belle and she looks pretty cute, so I'm pretty happy to have her as well. But I guess this type of design change is what they're going for the final version of the game, which seems to be heavily implying that waifu collector game, just like let's say Nikkei, Blue Archival, many other anime gacha games out there that seems to be having a full female cast. Moving on to next scene, we are introduced with the 3 new characters we never seen before. I thought they might be NPC types of characters, but the one of the character definitely appears later part of the PB where it seems to be playable for sure. So that also hints these two characters might be playable as well. But these are new characters we never seen before throughout the other source of materials they have shown so far. So I guess there's definitely more characters to be revealed throughout the future as well. And this scene also features 3 new characters we've never seen before from their concept trailers and other materials before, so I guess they really have a lot of unrevealed characters. Feels like they're probably like 4-star or lower if there was a different grades for the character, so maybe that's why they haven't showed it yet. But yeah, I think there's probably going to be a lot more characters than I expected to appear in the base version of the game for sure. This character in the background, as well as her, we'll definitely see her again in the later part of the PB, so just pay attention. Going back to the story elements, it says the one to train savior who will overcome that trial it's you. Meaning you as a captain, your duty to train this character to overcome that trial. And the training seems to be the big segments of the gameplay portion as well, since they are actually all wearing training outfits. So there's a lot of emphasize and focus on the training part that we'll see in the later part of the PB here as well. And that was a nice jiggle that actually kind of distracted me a bit and lost the world there. But yeah, nice looking training outfits. So after that nice little jiggle there, we're actually shown with another part of the story elements, and this shot actually existed in the concept PB as well, meaning the story they envisioned 2 years ago is probably the same as the final version of the game. So I guess that's a pretty good thing, because it does happen when story gets overwritten over time, but seems like they're still keeping the original vision they had for the story. So hopefully story will be interesting enough for me to engage in as well. Next part is actually quite interesting because it does seem like a Sarah with some bit different outfits with different hair color and more of the darker looking clothes as well. So maybe we have alter version of character that's actually turned evil or had a bad endings, and maybe we'll encounter them. We'll see what happens, but that possibility seems to be opened up as well, because if there's a journey and the trials, there must be a failure as well, and we don't know what happens if the journey doesn't go the way it's supposed to, but I guess we'll find out. Next scene, we're presented with Captains with his weapon that has administration's text on it that's kind of raised. So I think connection with the counter side still exists within this PB as well, meaning this seems to be sharing same universe as a counter side, maybe in different timeline or whatever, but I think connections still exists, and this weapon is definitely a proof of that for sure. And the characters we see in the distance seems to be Elysia, which is the Grand Witch, and she seems to be holding a lot of secret, just looking at her bio, so a lot of story elements might be told by her. We'll see when the game actually launches, but so far she looks pretty nice, so I like her design. So next part of the PB is the part where they showcase Wuma like simulation training aspects they have. So basically what that is, you are going to be going through this many different trainings to build your character to raise their stats certain way and such, and you are going to be having this character built out after doing all those training. And throughout the PB it does mention a year of journey, so within that year time frame they are going to be going through many different seasons as well as trainings to finally be ready for the trial they have a year later. So it seems to be borrowing a lot of similar elements from the simulation training game to the progression part for the characters. Not sure what they're going to be doing in terms of endgame aspect, because within Wuma your endgame is to participate the race event, which is kind of like a PvP event, and the best character you built out, if you win, then the huge satisfaction comes out from that. I'm not sure if they're going to have something like that. This might be just a light element, they might not go too deep into it, but you can definitely see successful part where the character opens up a chest and rewarded with the treasure, where this character, as you can see here, is actually met with the mimic instead. So there's definitely a failure aspects of that as well. We also have a section character is running and slipping, where the next section we see characters running the same positions but not slipping as well. So I think it hints that it's going to be having huge aspects when it comes to training of your characters throughout different events, as you can see here. Moving on to the next elements, I think this is where they show up they're more of a combat aspects of the game, because like I said in Uma Musume, the key point of the game is training, but at the same time, after you finish training your character and building your character, you are going to be using those characters to compete against other players in a racing event PvP. So I'm not sure if this game is going to be having PvP. I'm not saying it's going to have a PvP. It might have a different elements to use your build up characters for different contents and such. But point I'm trying to say is it seems to be the combat segments that we are seeing here, because characters are definitely using their weapons to launch ultimate skills and such in here as well. So it's safe to assume there are going to be some combat elements. I am not sure if the combat elements is going to be fully auto, because in a Uma Musume PvP it is fully automatic, and after you start the PvP match, it's just purely luck, and it just competing with other players, and if you have a better stats, you have a way higher chance to win against the opponents. But yeah, it's just more of a satisfaction aspect, I guess. And as you can see, the purple hair character appearing once again seems to be the playable character, and she seems to be charging up and launching and probably doing some attack. And we have some character with the candlestick. And next part is also another interesting part, which is the section we see Bunny Girl costume Charlotte in the game. And I think this also means we might be getting skins, but I'm leaning more towards to more of alter versions of like limited banner character with the different outfits, because the Uma Musume as well as Idolmaster game, which is another simulation training like the latest one anyways, they have characters with the different costume sold as a new character, and characters swapping their costume releasing as a brand new character is actually a pretty normal thing in the gacha game. We also see this character we haven't seen from other teaser before. We did see her earlier sections with the Alchemist sections with the girl with the mask. I guess this section where she takes off her mask and shows her cute face. And next we see Smiles with more of the summer outfit here as well, which we also saw earlier, a little teaser right here. So I'm assuming they are going to be having kind of summer outfit characters as well within the game. And some new character with a nice outfit, she looks pretty cute. Then we also see the Claire with some bunny girl outfit here as well. So the bunny girl theme definitely exists, and this bunny character we see once again using her weapons, seems like having booster on it to hit something. I'm not sure if it is a combat segments or training segments. I'm kind of leaning towards more of the combat segments, because that's what they're showing here. And this part here with the Omega, which is one of the characters, it seems to be having arms and body proportion looks a lot similar to Machine God from the counter side. So I think connection with the counter side still exists here and there for sure as well. And this is the character we saw earlier. Now she actually has her drills to attack her opponents, which looks pretty cool as well. And here, once again, we see Charlotte with her Burning Girl outfit, so that looks pretty cute. But I guess that means this might be another scene the character had. And we also see the first look of Lydia within the game, and she seems to be doing some evil things with this book, but we'll see if she's actually evil. Then we also have another characters writing this animal thing. And the last part of the PB seems to be showing live 2D illustrations of some of the characters, much like Blue Archive's Memorial Lobby. Might be having interaction part as well, but yeah, it seems to be following that concept the game has within this game as well. Not sure if every single character is going to having this types of scene, but yeah, it definitely exists. So this game will not just have a 3D elements, but the 2D elements built into the game as well, which is pretty nice back view here. And this character seems to be falling into a trap where it's used to capture animals. The bamboo sticks are sticking out, and the sprinted ankle and such. So here's my honest thought after watching this PB. So I'm being 100% honest here. I think there's definitely story elements to be looking out for. If you enjoyed B-Side Story, I think there's going to be similar elements represented here as well. So I'm quite excited to explore and see what kind of story they're going to be telling in this game. And graphic wise, I think that's going to be definitely one of the most important part when it comes to 3D game. It's not the best graphic that I've seen in the current gacha markets. There's definitely games with the way better graphics for sure. I think Wuthering Wave seems to be at the peak at the moment with their character graphic modeling. So it's definitely not there. It's definitely much less for sure, but I think this is definitely good enough. I don't think its point is going to be bothering me for sure. I think characters seems to be all looking pretty cute and doing pretty cute stuffs, and some of the skill animations seems to be quite exciting, especially some of the other stuffs we've seen in the past. And Jiggle does exist, so that's very, very good, I think, personally. Next, we'll talk about a thing that worries me and concern about after seeing this PB, which is more of the gameplay segment this game has, starting with the training aspects. I think training aspects from Uma Musume, from my experience, wasn't my cup of the tea. I think it was more of the characters and engagement I had with the characters, and seeing my characters get built up and seeing them participate in the race and winning, which never happened to me because I never built the good characters. But seeing other people go through the training and winning the first place was very satisfied looking, and to have that experience, I see the huge appeals of those types of games for sure, and that's probably one of the reasons why the Idolmaster games as well as the Uma Musume game is really popular in Japan. But personally, it's not my cup of the tea, so I don't want them to go too hard in terms of training aspects. I think it's really, really grindy in those games, so I don't want to see that types of similar grind in this game as well, because it definitely was not for me. I think I'm looking more of the combat segments. Hopefully they are able to deliver some decent combat, because they seems to be also focusing on that aspect quite a bit as well from their interview they had in the past, since after raising up your character, the next part is the combat elements. Hope it's going to be much more like a Star Rail, so not too complicated when it comes to gameplay, but the flash enough for you to enjoy pulling characters and seeing the new skill animations, as well as some of the composition settings with the new character synergy and stuff like that. One segment that definitely surprised me is the end of the PB, where they show the live 2D illustration part. So that was a nice surprise, and I'm quite excited to see what kind of other live 2D illustration they're going to have for individual characters. I'm hoping every single character will have it, or at least every single big character might have it. But it's glad to see those types of things does exist there. It's a little thing, but I think they do count. So regardless, I think I like what I'm seeing here so far, and quite excited to see what the game will be about when they actually release the closed beta test and the game finally launches. But anyways, that is pretty much it for this video from me for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'll see you guys next time with more videos. Thanks for watching.
ボイドスターに立ち向かい最終作戦を決行するボイジャー救援団。しかし命が尽きた世界は摂理によって終わりを迎える。最後の力で時空の扉を開くルナ。かすかな記憶の団長を求め降り立つアセラ。いつもの夕暮れ、君を訪ねる一人の少女。目覚めた君を待つ救援の旅。そして道を共にする団員たち。ついに姿を現す最終試験と世界の真実。約束の果てに君は何を選ぶのか。星が宿りし救援者の育成物語。スターセイバー。旅に出る準備はいいですか？団長。